Seth Casboza, Black Earth Productions, Blue Flame, Healing Arts, and Occult Science. And this is going to be the first time that I share an actual tarot reading in a segment to not only prove that this art and science is viable in terms of bridging. If you want a reading from me, definitely hit me up. I've been doing readings for years now, and I've come to the conclusion that the way I do readings and the way that I am presenting this art and science has been 100% congruent. And this isn't just busting out the cards and throwing cards down to see what's going on arbitrarily. There's a certain technique that I use specifically when I do these sorts of readings. And with this, I want to be able to share with you how powerful this art and science actually is. Now, to this, I'm going to direct you to my Occult Science of the Tarot segments as introduction lessons, man. Sort of break down my take on the tarot. There's many different ways to observe the tarot. There's a lot of books in the Black Earth Library. The deck I recommend people start with is the Rider-Waite deck. When I do readings, it gets very interesting. If there is anything specific that you want to petition, I want you to focus on whatever it is, but do not say anything to me directly. I want to prove to you that we are working with energy. I don't fuck with lesser spirits. Okay. So as I shuffle the cards, go ahead and focus. The deck I use for readings is called the Universal Fantasy Tarot deck. It's a more advanced deck, and I'll send you a link out to this as well. It's a beautiful deck. The artwork and it's based upon the symbolism and archetypes of the product plates. We'll be cutting the deck 3 ways now, okay? Only reading now. And what we got laid out here. Readings I do the right to the point now. With the Hierophant, the Five of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, and the King of Wands. Now, what I'm going to get into first is the second card in the reading, okay, which is the Five of Wands. I'll then move to the first card and then the third, okay? So, Five of Wands, man, this is what I'm going to get into with you first. Now, the Five of Wands, this is everything to do with a test. Right now, you're being tested. This could be things in context to opposition to ideas or conflict that might be happening at work or with other people. It's contentious energy happening here with the Five of Wands, man. It could be this competitive energy as well that you deal with, or that might be coming at you from other people. Definitely opposition to ideas. So maybe your ideas or you're opposing certain ideas that are leading to conflict. It's sort of training as well. Are you going to be in alignment or cave into the pressure of people coming at you and all this other kind of fucking shit? So the Five of Wands is everything to do with overcoming these difficulties in order to better yourself, man, in order to become sharper in terms of your convictions. And so having to overcome others, right? Dealing with whatever the Five of Wands is revealing here, but it's conflict that is basically leading to an opportunity for you to grow or prove yourself, proving yourself unto yourself, not giving a fuck what other people assume about you. Maybe they want to cut you down or see you as less than or whatever. But there's definitely some conflict going on here that you're dealing with, whether it's within yourself as well. This could be the inner battles and the dialogue. And so opposition to certain ideas that you may have held on to versus certain things that are being revealed to you. That's the Five of Wands. Now, let's go to the Hierophant. What does Hierophant represent? Institutions. This ultimately is the institution of the sacred. And you can see the Hierophant, he's there enthroned, the archetypes of the feminine force around him. What the Hierophant actually reveals is the manipulation of all of these institutions that have erected themselves, right? The original card shows 2 Pontiffs bowing before the fucking Pope. It's different in this deck, though. We're not dealing with the Pope. This is the actual institution of the sacred. And so, memory. You've been getting memories come to you, different memories. And you definitely were a member of the institution of the sacred before. Maybe you've attempted to incorporate yourself with religion, but it's convention, because you want to know what the revelation of the sacred and what the sacred reveals. So it's a lot of knowledge in terms of learning and doing research and study, things in context to, the priesthoods and the history and all this crazy shit that I've even fucking gotten into and explained, learning from the past, so that certain things are not repeated and that sacred knowledge is somehow being fucking tainted or being made less than what it actually is, learning from also the experience of other people in terms of these organizations and institutions and quote unquote spiritual authorities that have erected themselves over the fucking century. You know, so the original card, it shows the Pope, right? Fuck all that shit. That's not the institution of the sacred. That's the institution of the unsacred. And so the recognition here in terms, you definitely have had experience with the Hierophant. I see a likeness akin to some of your energy signatures when it comes to this. And so the incoming ideas and the memories and the things being revealed to you, yeah, there's definitely conflict in terms of certain perceptions and the way that you were experiencing life before or now going to start experiencing life. Now the third card here, we got the Knight of Pentacles. You can see the elemental on the back of a squirrel, right? So the Knight of Pentacles is earth energy being addressed. Wands is fire energy being addressed. So in terms of the reading, take it back to the earth energy and the fire energy that you got going on with your tree. This is what's being addressed here in terms of this reading specifically. So the 5th house with the 5 of Wands, that Leo energy, your Capricorn energy, with Jupiter and the moon being addressed, your Saturn energy, your 9th house energy. The 5 of Wands, that's going back to that Saturn to South Node conjunction, man, like I was talking about earlier. Your Pluto and Sagittarius generation as well. So a lot of the transformation energies are happening here in terms of this shit that's going on with the 5 of Wands, dude. Okay. Now, the Knight of Pentacles, earth energy being addressed, and the Knight's protection, fortification, grounding. Yeah, you're going to have to be careful and cautious in terms of movement. There's things that have to be unearthed, making careful plans and being careful not to rush and protecting your investments. This could be things in terms of actual resources, assets, wealth, your stability. This is your mind applied to the everyday world. Protection, man. And because of the 5 of Wands energy you got going on, all this integration that is taking place and has been taking place, you've become a little bit slow-witted, and that's why you've got to be a little bit more cautious in terms of movement here, because you are going through some pretty powerful transformations with this fire energy. But again, here with the elements so far, it's the contrast between fire and earth, man. So definitely going back to how your thought and emotion operate with the fire and earth energy with Capricorn and the 5th house. And this is also addressing things in terms of your expansion. So
what does slow-witted mean?
You're not as sharp as you usually are, or you're being sharpened. So your wits are a bit dull, but they're becoming sharper. Like to the point where it's gonna be razor fucking sharp. So allow that process to take place and just be cautious, man. Don't rush. You don't want to rush with really anything at the moment.
Right, man, this is so spot on.
So now, before I continue with the other 2 cards, how is this resonating?
This is freaking spot on. This is exactly the answers to my questions that I was stating.
Yeah, see, and I didn't even know what your questions were.
Yeah, man.
Now go and tell me that magic isn't real.
It's a fact. Absolutely.
If you want to share your questions with me now's the time to do that.
Look, I was sort of stating how to progress in terms of setting up my business and really fortifying that, and confirms everything. All of my questions are being answered by this kind of reading here, because it's sort of the conflict in the 5 of Wands is sort of showing the internal conflict of whether to move on or to take it slow. It's like a back and forth, that inner conflict, not knowing, you know, I'm not fully integrated yet in what I want to share. And then, of course, the Ritter der Münzen in German, by the way. That squirrel, that's so spot on. It's that earth and fire energy, taking my time, like you said, being cautious, protection, but also internally fortifying that which I want to build upon, taking my time and not rushing it. Because, like you said, I have this Aries energy that wants to rush everything. Like, you know, I get an idea, I want to do something about it, but I have to let it take fruition, let it grow, let the seed grow. And definitely the Hierophant, or however you pronounce that, that's definitely the underlying issue with the divine and where my conflict comes from, the soil that my conflict takes place in. And then the Knights of Pentacles, that's the solution so far. Now we've got 2 more cards revealing something.
The other 2 cards in the read, you got the Knight of Cups and the King. Let's talk about the Nine of Cups. Now, Nine of Cups is the water element being addressed. This is your sun in Cancer, heart and core ignition. All your water energy is there with the sun. And the Knight of Cups, he's the seeker of the grail. That yearning for union. This can be also in terms of partnership, romance, courtship, that inner knowing, and it's going to reflect that. Ideas in terms of messages of love and desire, but coming at things from a place of wisdom. You're here to lead.
Right.
There's going to be a similar energy in terms of templating.
I'm feeling it in my heart, man. There's definitely some work on my heart that I have to do.
This also represents the union with your core. So the water element, going back, the only place you have water is with the sun. That yearning feeling that you have at the center of your chest.
Yep.
It's pretty strong with you. This is the alchemical wedding. The centaur is running through the field. He's got the grail in his hand. What's within your cup? What do you have to offer? What are you bringing to the table? What are they bringing to the table? Again, going back to the Knight of Pentacles, go with caution, man. Don't rush. You don't want things that go into conflict with the Five of Wands. All this stuff to the sacred institution. And now the final card here is the King of Wands. Fire element being addressed. You're going to master this fire element. You got to go down. A lot is going to be revealed to you in terms of the South Star. Yeah, Fire Magician. The King of Wands is the Fire Magician, man. This is what you were. So you're going to be reminded more of who you truly are, man. Holy fucking shit. Whoa. And see, the way I do readings is not like others, man. I take it back to the astral cycle. This is running congruent and it's running in direct correspondence to the North Star for you, man. Okay? So King of Wands, he's the center of the fucking sun, man. Soul spark ignition, boom. Happening there with the Knight of Cups. Alright, dude, listen. King of Wands, he's the strongest, needing to consume experience, mastering the things in your life that need to be mastered, and allowing yourself to shine forth that confidence. You do have, again, leadership ability, Leo energy, knowing that you are at the center of that convergence, the microcosm, that soul spark ignition, going back to the Knight of Cups with the sun. King of Wands is the center of the sun now. So this is all about self-mastery, the true essence of who you are, shining forth and allowing that self to be the energy that drives you in terms of your passions and the things that you want to experience. So outgoing and allowing yourself to be the center of attention from time to time. Because when you go to ignite that and you shine that forth and you speak forth, moving into this energy, man, you're going to garner attention. Validate yourself. Validate that inner knowing. Master yourself. Go towards those rewards and achievements in terms of that earth energy there with the Knight of Pentacles energy. You know, go with caution, man. Allow yourself to be sharp. Allow yourself to be forged. Mold and shape yourself into the archetype that you see yourself as and be that. Embody that. I'm seeing a lot of the past life energy here with the King of Wands as well. And then going back to the Hierophant, yeah, you're going to have more revealed to you. And it is going to bring up some shit. Yeah, you're going to be forced to face some fucking programming here with the Five of Wands energy. Don't go headlong. Allow these things to be revealed or happen organically. If you want to rush that centaur and he's running towards the grail, you're going to come up against the King of fucking Wands, man. The center of the fucking sun.
Wow, this goes so deep, man. This is basically the answer to my question. This is both what I see in this energetic thing that came to my awareness through your astrological reading. Highlighted, it's a thread that I see running through it, showing me exactly how to navigate. It's like a map that I'm seeing.
The tarot is the bridge between the solar and the black spiral of creation.
Interesting.
It's the bridge. So the bridging is taking place in terms. So the King of Wands here, this reading is very, very important to you, and so is the Hierophant.
The way I see this personally right now, it's also important to see these cards as they are laid out. The Knight of Pentacles in the middle, that's the balance right now for me. And that's my focus point. It's like this earthly energy that is balancing. So the conflict energy, Five of Wands, right? And then the Knight of Cups, that running centaur. This is the part where I need to cultivate patience. Because if I don't, I run right into King of Wands in the central sun, the fire, the King of Wands, fire magician.
That's there for you to access. in terms of that ignition that happens with the Nine of Cups. And you're gonna have a lot revealed to you, man. In terms of memory, like I said with the Hierophant coming back to you, which is gonna bring up some conflict in terms of programming that you might be dealing with. There's something very powerful for you to access, man. Earth here in terms, okay?
The only card that's not 100% clear is the Hierophant clicked into place. The Hierophant has got to do with the divine, but it hasn't clicked in yet fully. If you have some of your views on it, that would be awesome.
Like I said, it represents the institution of the sacred. So be observing things in terms of all of these corrupt institutions and all of the misinformation stuff. Find the fucking truth, man. Digging through research and study, because you're trying to find answers to the questions that you have within you, going back to the King of fucking Wands, man. You're seeking the Grail and you don't even fucking know it. But where is it accessed? Soul Spark, dude, with the water element here. It's the only place you have the water element. The King of Wands, he's there at the center of the sun. You'd be surprised, man. The memory that comes to you, that's what you're going to be unearthing. It's going to sharpen your ass, dude. So to the inner conflict, you could be getting pull-ons from this. You feel it, but you don't see it. And you want to see what you feel, correct?
Absolutely spot on, yes.
Right. Yeah, you're gonna have a lot more revealed to you, man. So there it is, Felix. I think this was a good initiation, man. I can tell that you're real. Definitely take your time with everything. And like I said, you're eligible for follow-up sessions in the future. If you want to break things down, have an open floor, man, go over anything that's already been covered, okay? And in the future, again, Wolf and Nard training is now made available to you. Definitely take your time. 2 things I send to you, man, okay? To lay that proper foundation. Definitely study Cosmic Law, get into the runes, study the runes, the virtues, Violet Codex. And in terms of the Knight of Cups here, take time experimenting with the circle. I honestly expect to hear back from you. I think you're going to come back and tell me something.
I'll definitely take time to integrate all of this and everything pertaining to the Nordic, Germanic, and Celtic ancestry, especially in terms of Druidry. That's really, really interesting, and I find a lot of magic in there for myself, like that is to uncover, and that also ties into the first card, the Hierophant, from what I'm feeling in my reading. Your segment, Cosmic History, I've watched the whole segment, but it didn't click into place until I really got into the history more and more and discovered, like, for example, there's all these genocides, and some people talk about the Native American genocide, Inquisition, and some people about the African, but no one's actually talking about the European native people, which I find really important.
Oh, most definitely. In terms of studying blood codes and ancient animist traditions, man, before the infiltration of the Inquisitions and the wiping out the fucking tribes and the shaman class during the Dark Ages, and then all the tribes being at war with one another during that fucking time. Our people fucking lost themselves.
Right, but it has nothing to do with who we originally were, right?
And the tradition goes into free history at least 300,000 years.
So how would that tie into, let's say, the times of Atlantis and times of Lemuria, and then having those, like our original people from Egypt, and then the other tribes?
See, all of humanity hails from the Great North. It's the 4 cardinal directions. White dragon is of the north, yellow dragon is of the east, red dragon of the west, black dragon of the south. And at one time, like I said, we all sat at a table. And so there are portions in terms of keys and codes and records and all these things. Eventually, it's going to come back together. There's a prophecy, and it's the white dragon prophecy.
Right.
This is real. And in terms of the procession and where things are potentially going to come, I've spoken about the wisdom councils for years. I'm getting this stuff come to me in terms of the Hierophant memory coming to me, my codex activating, and all this different stuff being revealed. And I can confirm this, man. So the tradition, in terms of how I observe the mythos, it's not religion, it's not any of that, it's a science, it's symbolism. All the gods and goddesses, it's symbolism, they're archetypes, they mean different things in terms of fundamentals and principles. The whole notion, this has also been revealed with things on my end, that the new mythos is going to be created. That threshold has not been crossed yet. To know where we're at now, we have to know our past. And one of the main things that, these institutions, right, going back to the fucking Hierophant did, was cut people off from their fucking roots. Here in the fucking States and even other countries in the world, man, it's a fucking goddamn cauldron of shit in terms of true identity. All the different subcultures where people try to find themselves. So in terms of who we are and what's being revealed, man, what are you here to embody as the masculine force? And our ancestors, they were fucking warriors. Study the name of your father's bloodline and your mother's bloodline. Studying blood codes is a major part of initiation. Now, also recognize the fact that it does not reveal the sum total of who you are. If you watch the Bog Saga, the man speaks about Odin Ma. Odin Ma is the Great North, where all of humanity hail from. And see, to the tilt of the earth, Odin Ma was sealed the fuck off, man, at that 23.4 degree axis. We can access it from within ourselves, but the more people that remember, we're going to see earth changes, we're going to see things happen in the heavens, people are going to become more aware. Our connection to the earth, Mother herself, connection to nature and the universe, man, we got to get back to that. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up now.
And this was really on point. This reading was, you're the real deal, man. A real one. Absolutely.
We'll speak again soon, and you're going to kick some ass, man. This King of Wands. Nice. Okay.
This equals. Bye.
All right, see you later, man. So with that, again, I'm going to encourage the full rites initiation session, which does include teaching to the tarot, also a tarot reading. If you like a tarot reading or any of the other services interest anybody out there, check out the website at blackearthproductions.com. Click on the services page, and then send me an email directly at blackearthproductions@hotmail.com. From there, I'll line things out with you. As you can see, I'm not messing around when it comes to any of these things. With a little bit more added to the equation in terms of the white dragon prophecy. Again, the hour that we are in is unprecedented in terms of the decision that we need to make as individuals that know the difference. I know a lot of people out there are dealing with so much that could be pulling them into the idea that none of this stuff matters, but we cannot allow that inner knowing that is there in terms of our awakening to be shaken and shake off everything that stands in the way of that inner knowing. Do not allow fear or indifference to the core to mold you. Do not let indifference to the core take you down a track that's going to bring you out of alignment. We are closer than we have ever been, and though tested, those of us that know the difference, we knew what was up ahead. And this is why connection and communication for energies to flow is absolutely necessary. And to all the cardinal directions, the ancients are hailing us from within. This is Seth Esposa, Black Earth Productions. Again, be empowered, be encouraged.